Good morning, YouTube. Okay, I'm doing the fork seals on a 1998 Shadow 1100, Honda Shadow 1100. Okay, a little different than some other bikes. First thing you need to do, take the caliper off. 14 millimeter. That's attached right here on the right fork. Right there on the right fork. 14 millimeter. Okay, you have 4 retaining bolts down here. 12 millimeter. You got to take them out, and then you're going to pull the axle out. Now the axle is a little different. The axle has a retaining 22 millimeter on one end, and then you have to use a punch and a rubber mallet, and you push it out the other side. It doesn't slide. It's not. There's no hex insert on this side. So you take off your 22 millimeter retaining bolt. You slide it out. That gets your wheel off. Okay, so you got here 4 12 millimeters. Take them out. 14 millimeters. Get your brakes off, and then you have, this looks like a 8 millimeter hex, and then 6 millimeter hex up here. So there's only one here and one on the bottom of the triple, one on the top of the triple tree, one on the bottom of the triple tree. And then I'm going to take this one out, and we'll start working on this, the left fork. Okay, next step. So we have the fork is in a vise. We took the cap off. We drained the oil. Now this is interesting. This setup, I haven't seen this setup before. When you take the retaining cap off, this is the cap, everything just shoots out. So you have, this is a spring compressor, you have a washer, and you have the spring. So we put the spring back in the tube, washer goes on the end here, like this. Spring compressor goes like this. Cap goes like this. There's no way to, there's nothing retaining it in there. There's no nut, and there's no center shaft holding the whole assembly together. It just comes flying out when you open it up. So draining it out, and then I'll reinstall this stuff. Once I get it all put back together again, I'll start back up. Okay, second fork seal. So for the top cap, 24 millimeter, you take that off. Let's put this towel over here. Put this towel down. Top cap, 24 millimeter. Then you have this compressor. Okay, that's next. Then there's a washer. It's next. Then you have the spring. Okay, this oil is really dirty. I'm going to take this spring, I'm going to put it over in the bucket and let it drain. And then I'm going to drain out the fork oil. Now the dust cover, this is from the other one. The dust cover comes off pretty easy. It's got some ribs, so you just kind of put a punch underneath here and wiggle it off. This comes out difficult. You're going to have to use a where are you? You're going to have to use a hook like this, and you're going to hook in, and you're going to pull it out. The other one you can push back in. The new one you can push back in fairly easy, but the old one, you're going to have to hook down underneath it and pull it out. Just make sure you don't scratch the wall of the interior fork. Okay, last thing, takes 330 milliliters per fork. Okay, I'll come back when I'm almost done. Okay, so we got the new oil seal in. Like I said, you're going to need to take a hook, and you're going to pull. See, this is the second one I did. This is the second one I did. You're going to hook in there and pull it out. Hook in sideways and pull it out. This is the C-clamp that goes in to retain the oil seal. Okay, so then you put the new one in, and you just tamp it in. You could use the bottom of this hook, and you put it in, and you go around, and you just tamp it in, and then you take the rubber mallet, and you would just tap it in all the way till you get down. I don't know if you could see in there, it's kind of in the shade here, but you get down past the groove so you can put that C-clamp in. Let me pick this up. So now, put the C-clamp down in there. This is hard to do with one hand. So, well, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to put the C-clamp in there because I need both my hands. All right, and then we'll finish up. Okay, final step. So we have the forks back in, and I haven't tightened everything up completely. What you need to do is once you get them in, you get a should get a digital micrometer like this, a digital yeah, I guess you call it a measuring micrometer, and we're going to measure the fork to the triple tree. So this one is at 6. Let's get it. Let me get it down there. Perfect. Okay. Right around 6. Right around 6. So this one. .99. So that's close enough. And what you do is you just tighten these up. You tighten up maybe the top just a little bit, and then you take a rubber mallet and you just tap them. You bring them in and you just tap them so that you get them even. That way the bike's going to ride even. Okay, so that's the last step. I'm just going to tighten up these. I'm going to tighten up these. I'm going to tighten up the big 8 millimeters back here. And then put the brakes on. Brakes go on right there. The brakes are sitting right there. The brakes go on there. Then we'll put the wheel and put the axle, fender, and we're done. Okay? Mike Machines out.